I could write a full course on writing copy for Facebook ads, but I'm going to save you some time and just give you my special equation for writing copy that will complement the other strategies that we've been learning so far. In case you guys hit your head on a rock or took some crazy pills since the last lesson, remember all the things that we're trying to do here. First of all, we're adopting a branded niche dropshipping business model, meaning our site represents a brand and a legitimate business that promotes trust to the customer. Second of all, we're taking a target conscious acquisition strategy to pursue impulse and average buyers. These are the guys we're really going after. Next, we're going to be running a store-wide sales strategy and pricing strategy. As a result, I'm going to teach you how to write effective ad copy given this criteria. This does not mean that this is the equation you should use if you're going to go through with a different methodology. Obviously, if you're going to be selling Rolex watches worth thousands of dollars on the internet, it's going to be a very different experience than what we're doing. With that said, let's dive into the framework. You're going to want to keep this lesson in a safe spot and refer back to it a lot of times. It is going to be the reason why you make a lot of money if you execute this correctly. I'm going to break down how to write effective copyright for your advertisements. And keep in mind, this is going to be the post description. We talked about the anatomy of an advertisement. This is going to be the post area, but it's going to give us a lot of insights that we can use to drive the other components of an advertisement. So the first thing that we're going to do, and keep in mind, this is all about our target conscious acquisition strategy, which I explain in another lesson in the course. First thing is going to be a description of a sale, okay? We're going to be running store-wide sales as a part of our advertising efforts, okay? And a description of a sale just means how much is the sale and also why the sale is going on. More importantly, why it's going on. This is going to be that first component. So some common reasons why you could have a sale, right? It could be because of seasonality. So let's say it's winter sale, okay? It could be because of a store event. If you're just starting out, it could be a store launch sale, okay? It could be a clearance sale, right? It could be summer clearance if it's the end of summer. Again, so many different ways to work off of this. There's always something going on in the world that can give you an excuse to run a sale. Up next, we're going to mention some details of the product or our business, okay? And what this means is you want to emphasize very briefly some traits of your business or the products, right? So if we're selling, let's say hats, it can be like the best hats in the world, right? Or if we're selling scarves, right? It could be like premium scarves. And this is something that you still have to test multiple iterations with. This is just the framework that you're going to use, the equation, if you will, for copyright. You actually have to execute and look at the data and see which variations you come with that actually do best, right? So this is going to be a detail about the business or the product, or if I'm talking about modern habitat, I can say, number one home goods store, right? Or something along those lines. Up next, we're going to want to quantify the sale and also highlight some additional value that our business is going to be able to provide. So I'm running out of space here. I'm going to put this plus at the bottom. So I'm going to say additional value plus quantify, right? Quantify sale, okay? And what this means is, okay, we're on sale. We said that it was a winter sale. We said that it's a store launch, or how much percentage off it is, right? So it can be like 30% off, right? Or if you're doing some other model, it could be like buy one, get one free, okay? Whatever you want to do. This has to do with testing. And then additional value. What else are we providing on top of the fact that there's this sale, that there's this discount? Things like free shipping, right? 24/7 customer service, okay? Or let's just say hassle-free returns. So much additional value. It could be the breadth of your catalog, right? Over 400 plus products, okay? My handwriting is a little bad, but you get the point of this section. Next, we're going to want to keep in mind we're going around this way, right? So it starts with description, detail, additional value. I know it's a little disorganized. Just work with me here. Next is going to be a message of urgency, right? So, wow, all these great things are going on, right? You described the sale. You talked about why your products are great or why your brand is great. You talked about additional value you're going to provide. You quantify that sale. But we don't want the consumer to think, this seems great, but I'll just check it out another time, right? There's no urgency in that scenario, and you're going to lose the purchase. Maybe they're going to see another ad by another dropshipper or brand by the time they decide to come back to your website. So we need to promote urgency. This can be something like, today only. Okay, the trouble you run into this is they can see when your ad was published and they might think it's a little dishonest, but honestly, I've done this before and it still worked really well. It can be while stock lasts, right? Clearly, we don't have inventory in this scenario, but they don't know that. And this is one way you can boost even more urgency, right? Or while sale lasts, okay? So many ways that you can still communicate this urgency that they need to buy now, or they're seriously missing out. And then finally, we've got the call to action, okay? And this isn't that call to action button, right? That's a part of the overall advertisement. This is just for your copywriting. Call to action is you want to tell them to do something, right? Buy now, right? Or buy here, or visit us, okay? And after the call to action, you always want to include one thing every single time, which is going to be your link, okay? So you're going to put a link after this. And you do all of this, okay? You follow this path. You start out with that description. Then you provide some details. You bring some additional value and you quantify that sale that you already introduced, right? You do some urgency. You get that call to action involved. And this is the equation for a lot of cash. This is just a framework for thinking. You got to plug in different messaging in each part of the equation, do your testing, test multiple iterations. I'm going to go ahead and make some copies for some of the advertisements that we've created together, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But this is the equation that's responsible for $20 million in sales in a single year. That's it. It's that simple. Now remember, all I did was give you the skeletal framework. How you choose to fill that out can be very variable. This is just the formula that I found to work after spending close to $6 million on Facebook ads within a year to generate $20 million in sales. So before we go do some examples together, I've got to cover something really important in the next lesson. You guessed it, emojis.